Today we got Des Jones, aka Mr. Jones. Des is going to run us through one of my favorite calls, which is the hot seat, where we get to sort of look at an act, see some of the cool stuff that they're doing that you guys would like to do as well, see how they did it, and see what you can steal from it. Thank you very much for doing this, Des.
Yeah, thanks for having us up. I've been looking forward to it actually.
Yeah, me too. Me too. You know what? So we got a couple of things that we're going to run through and see what you've been up to and kind of run through maybe how the people on the call could replicate it. Let's do a quick. What I like to do at the start of these calls is a quick, uh, like a scale. A then and now. So let's start with a then. So like when me and you first spoke, I remember it was the claptone competition when you applied. So I actually don't know the answer to this question. Like what was the activity level back at that period of your life?
Within music,
Yeah.
yeah, I was just getting back into it really. So sort of second phase start again really. I did it when I was younger and then went off and set my own business up and only really played on decks a little bit, house parties, didn't really pursue any dream. I had played in clubs and stuff when I was like 18, but nothing major. And then yeah, just getting like my bit between the teeth and that kind of popped up and you popped into my life.
So just kicking off again.
I'd say so, yeah, near enough.
Nice. Okay. Just kicking off. I do remember we spoke about that, but just kicking off. Okay. So let's zoom in and kind of talk about where you're at now, some of the cool stuff that's happened this year, and then we can talk about our entire call. We'll be filling in the gap on sort of how we got there and how we book and replicate. So this year you said you lying bastard. You didn't play 52 gigs. You only played 50.
Yeah, 50 gigs. I want to actually count how many events I'm going to do it and that I've actually been involved in, either directly or indirectly.
Okay.
Because away from the DJing, I bet I don't know how many events like I've actually been involved in dealing with venues and artists and whatever it may well be. But yeah, I bet it might be fucking 80. I don't know. I need to count it up. Because
Okay. Well,
most of the ones I've played at, I've been involved in more than just DJing.
okay. So we got 50 gigs, countless events. We did so FML, which is your brand, that did what happened with that?
So yeah, FML with various residencies. We did obviously the Ibiza Weekender, which was a huge success. We have FML Aylesbury, which is near London, and that's three other guys that kind of run it alongside us. And we all basically met up in Ibiza for the first time. We had some people from Ireland come over and people from Manchester, various little spots around the UK. We kicked it off at Cafe Del Mar, which was just unbelievable. It was such a good time. And then the following day we did a boat party, and then we did plastic, and then the day after that we did Ithaca. So four events in 3 days. It was too much to be honest, but it was amazing and it was crazy.
And we had over 100 people, you said, travel.
Over 100 people, yeah. We brought a videographer over with us who captured it all. He brought a drone, got told off for using it outside Cafe Del Mar. Um, and yeah, it was amazing. I mean, a good shot. Funny, really, I've connected with probably half the people on this call anyway on Instagram. I was saying to you, Mikey, how much of a tool it is to speak to people, but so you've probably seen half of it anyway. But yeah, that was really really juicy because I've been going to Ibiza since I was 18, and I just absolutely love the island. So much so, I'm going to be there at least once a month throughout the summer this year.
Nice. Okay, we can do we can
Next
yeah,
year.
so let's flip that and look at that as well. So like next year, have we got stuff in the pipeline for next year that we can announce?
Not massively, other than the open deck that we're doing over there. So we're going to be doing that over there. So there's five events guaranteed. With the uptake we've had, I'm optimistic we might do more than five events. But until I get the dates out and I know who's definitely committed, I can't really program it any deeper than that. But I am thinking we'll maybe do maybe another a club venue or maybe some boat parties. I really don't know. The good thing is now because we've done what we've done and proved to these people over there that I now know. Like there's multiple venues and people over there that we can work with because we've proved ourselves to them.
Yeah, and you're doing the you're doing the weekender this year, or is that something you're able to say or not say or?
Well, I think we're going to do 5 days, maybe 5 to 7 days, and split it because it was too much in the short space of time. So yeah, we're definitely going to do it, but I'm waiting for sort of there's a new venue on the scene that's a bit higher level, and they're kind of holding the cards with dates. So
Okay.
if they say a date, then we program it around that.
Then on the other side, are you counting FML as a DJ agency? Because I know you operate as a DJ agency. Do we still do that? Do we not do that?
We do. I mean, people are passing through us that we're putting to other people, but I wouldn't say it was an agency as such. It's more just looking after people.
Okay.
There's no financial gain from it. We've not made any money out of passing people on. It's more of a just helping others.
Sweet. Okay. So we got the 50 gigs this year, countless events. You got multiple residencies. We did the 100 plus people flew over to your Ibiza Weekender. You had the event in Cafe Del Mar. And we've got more, bigger and better coming for 2025. Is there anything I've missed?
I mean, we did the first festival in Harrogate, which was Roger Sanchez headlined. So that was pretty massive. That was 3,700 people. We did our birthday party with Graham Park, which we sold out. Personally, I warmed up for Marshall Jefferson at Mint Warehouse, which was a sellout. Warmed up for Moose Tea. I can't, off the top of my head, that they were sort of the highlights, I'd say.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Marshall Jefferson and Moose T. Some great house coming out of Moose T. So I mean that's a pretty good year.
Yeah, it was. I'm nervous about not making it as good next year, to be
Well,
honest.
this is the beautiful thing about having a really good year. It puts that fire in your belly because if you're sitting here this time next year and it's not as good, well then,
I'll be crying.
like exactly. So we can't have that. That's a pretty good year. Let me know into the chat, please, will you? If you had a year similar to that with your own brand, with your own stuff next year, would you be happy? Is this something that, I mean, you'll do yours slightly different, you'll do a different flavor on it, but I mean, that level of activity under your own brand, got multiple residencies running. I mean, come on, the Ibiza stuff, Roger Sanchez, Graham Park, Marshall Jefferson, Moose T, Cafe Del Mar. It's all looking great. Um, okay, we got some stuff coming through on the chats there. Right. So, what I wanted to chat to you about is some of the tools that you've used to make that happen. Because it's quite quick. Like that was what, 2 years ago, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah.
2 years. So in 2 years, that's pretty. That's a given that this year is already over. That was year two. A year run up to that kind of progress. That's pretty good. So, um, what would you say is the number one area that you'd like to look at first?
To talk about well, I mean, the brand really. Without the brand, none of that would have happened. The brand is, you say if no one's going to book yourself, and I just said then out of them 50 odd gigs, like pretty much most of them gigs, I was involved in away from just DJing.
I love it. Okay, so the FML. Tell us the idea behind it and how you've like how you started to implement it first. How we went from no gigs with FML to some gigs. Let's talk about the first bit.
Yeah, so me and my friend started the brand. We come up with the idea what boy with all the kind of ins and outs of that, but we come up with the idea, the name and everything. And we targeted a venue that we wanted to go to. We had a meeting with that venue and put it to them face to face, but dissected it like pretty microscopic level in terms of everything, like a business plan. We talked about the door policy, dressing the venue, music policy, what drinks would be on offer. Like literally, we went through everything you could everything you could think of. We went through, and we sat down with the venue. And I honestly think they were, because this isn't a high level club or anything. I honestly think they were like fucking wow. They were like, I don't think anyone had sat in front of them and talked about putting an event onto this level of detail. We invested heavily in branding the night as well, and we arranged a debrief after the event. And we said we'd do it a week later after the dust had settled, so we could kind of dissect it and just see what we could improve on and stuff. And unfortunately for us, the that first event, we didn't want any money for it either. We did it for free to kind of prove ourselves. And yeah, they run out of drink and had to stop letting people in. So we hit the ground running. So we did get lucky, but we also put shitloads of effort in to get that look.
So would you say like and so that's carried out through everything really, but would you say it was the well thought out proposal that smashed that, or was there just it is just the organization in general?
I think everything. I think the like there's a girl that works with me she's a designer and she's got a degree in design and she says the devil's in the detail and it's the things you don't see and that's it. Like that you got to try and go above and beyond if you're going to try and make a mark and that's what we try to do.
Okay, so that's done well. Latrice is asking, did you invest out of pocket for that one? Did you get sponsors, or did you do a third option?
I think it cost us about 700 quid, which we put in between. There was three of us, so yeah, we invested in it. Um, yeah, we put the money in, but it wasn't between there was three of us that did it, so it wasn't a crazy amount of money really to throw a party and have a little gamble on trying to create something.
Love it. Okay, so invested 700 quid, knowing that you're going to get none of it back because you said you don't want any money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've just threw. I mean, and the funny thing is, on the night they actually came up to us and give us some money and a bottle of champagne each. Did the owners of the venue?
Yeah,
Um,
they probably paid you more than they would have paid you anyway for you because of how you said it. But it's the mindset that I want to bring into the later on in the call because that's a lot of people won't do that, and you gotta that approach works. Um, so we got the well thought out proposal. Then so we've got that first event. It's gone well. How have we? And Ian's asked, did you do much advertising for it?
we did do some Facebook ads, but I don't actually like them. But we did do some Facebook ads, but we it was a very organic and yeah, I battered everyone's door down. I WhatsApped everyone. I cashed in every favor. I even shared a post recently saying, "One time only. I promise I'm not going to do this, whatever." And then I've reshared it recently saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't true to my word there.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
I've spammed the shit out here." But yeah, I literally just yeah, we banged the drum as loud as possible to everybody and anybody, even the people that didn't want to listen. I think.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, so we've got that first event. That's locked in. What was the next evolution? How did we leverage that onwards?
So yeah, after that we had the debrief. Obviously, it was a success. So they were like, "Yeah, we want it." They actually wanted it every week, and I was like, "Nah, you'll just kill it. Like we can't. There isn't a market certainly where we live to do it every week." Um, and then off the back of that, we just, people wanted to be involved. Like other people saw it, and I've always been very warm with others on social media. So others was like, "Come and jump in the DMs." Would say, "Oh, what about this venue, that venue?" And then people basically introduce us to other venues, and if they introduce us to a venue, they played it. Like so, they got their foot in the door with us by opening the door for us. So and that's how it's kind of worked, I suppose, in some ways.
So let's pull back because I think from where other people are at, what I'm hearing is okay, we've done the first event, and the first event has done really well. Okay, it's sold out. They've drunk the bar dry. Fair fucks to them. I like this style. The bar is empty. They're turning people away. So how does that go from everybody then connecting you to other promoters? Because it doesn't, and we've all had events. It doesn't happen that easy where they're all just straight away going, "Hey, I'll introduce you to this venue. I'll introduce you to this venue." If only it were that easy, great. But I think where's the missing bit there?
Well, I think it's the community and the way we've approached everybody and how everybody felt part of something. Um, I said I sort of like as a bit of a analogy, and this is like the open deck thing as well, but the space we've created there. Is that everyone knows the vibe on the dance floor like when everyone's in the moment like it's a buzz in it and everyone's your best friend so put that on a smaller lower scale level and you half know everybody people are looking at that and they're like that's my friend up there that and
Okay.
then they're wanting to share that they're proud of you like they're wanting to share that admiration because they've seen all the effort you've put in and they're like you know, trying to trying to do their bit then because they've seen how much effort you've put in and the joy in the room. They're like, oh, how can I help? And people like that don't even into music. Like, oh, my mate's a DJ and he might be into. You want to speak to him, Daz? Sort of thing. People are naturally drawn in because they can see the hard work that's gone in and the amount of smiles on everyone's face. I would say.
Okay, nice. Right. So we've got the referrals, and so now you've got some gigs in other places, and they're going well as well. So what was the next evolution for the brand? Where you've got some under your belt. What was the next level up?
I think just consistently keep trying to get the gigs and trying to get involved with others. Like just trying to build on that and get us out of Harrogate and get us kind of networking with other people to broaden the reach.
Okay. So you know what? I think this is a good time, right, to skip over broaden the reach. Okay. So like taking that seed that you'd planted, this is the bit that people quite often miss, where you've got one thing that works well. And what people don't realize is if you've got something that works well, you've got like, when you're trying to light a fire, you've got embers now. You've got embers. And you can either just continue to try and keep embers, but they're going to burn out, or you can blow like fuck on them and feed them and fuel them and create something. And so I think that's what you did really from what I seen. So like, let's leave brand for a second and look at why you think that happened. Because the other thing that we spoke about was the second thing was your approach. Why did you want to speak about the approach?
Well, multiple reasons really. Like, so we ended up working with these different venues, and like you say, with like giving something to them or giving like when you're trying to reach out to somebody, you don't just want to say I want to play. You need to give more. Like what we did, I ended up, and I've still got them now. It's a bit irritating notification wise, but I ended up saying, in a polite way, your social media, you'd be better doing this, that, and the other. Things that we'd maybe learned or just things I picked up myself. So they ended up getting the logins and cleaning up their social media and just helping them. And each venue we'd go to, I'd literally go introduce myself to every member of staff. On the night, I'd be collecting glasses. I'd be, making sure that everybody in that space that was working there, I was helping them. I was part of that team. Like whoever it was, whether it was the person collecting glasses or the bar staff, whatever it was, I wasn't just a DJ or just a promoter. I was the guy that was really trying to drive that business forward. And then, like after that first event, and unless they're an asshole, they're probably thinking they're good guys. They're really good guys to work with because in this game, as I'm sure a lot of you know, like there is a lot of egos and a lot of people that just want to beat the chest. Like that people aren't like in my other business away from this. I regularly change the bins. I mop the floor. Like got 11 staff. I'm the boss, but I'm still changing the bins. And I think that kind of work ethic and output of being right with everybody and just going the extra mile, it just helps you in the long run because people, no matter even if they don't like you as a person, maybe personality wise, you can't unsee that, and that's to be admired. If people work hard, you like fair play. I don't know if anybody like Tom Zanetti's a good example. Like musically, I really don't like him, but he's had some huge success and fair fucking play to him because he's worked his ass off, and you can see that, and that's me saying that about somebody that, and that's the same thing. And I think, yeah, it's easy for people to not see that or do that and just kind of expect or not think about how they can go that extra mile.
So it's like it's embracing that thing. Like, and I've seen it in you. Every time you work with somebody, you like to leave them a little bit better off. You like I mean, you arrive at the house there, the villa here. You bring what? It's your signature thing, isn't it? You bring Betty's. Isn't it Betty's cakes? Is it Betty's
Yeah,
cakes?
bring some cakes, yeah.
Tell everybody about the cakes.
Yeah. So the cake thing, and just don't be nicking my cake idea, but yeah, just give them something, isn't it? Like you just like if you give somebody something that means something, not because it's the sake of, oh, you just want to buy them something and be cheesy with it, but genuinely take them something that they will like. Like you're leaving an impression, and more than most. Like, and I think I said to you, Mikey, about the butchers. There's a butcher's around the corner from me at work, and it's a great butcher. You go in, they always give the dog some. They know the kids' names. They ask after the kids and how you doing, Daz. That it feels very personal, but they like that with everybody. So although I've made friends with them, they are like that with everybody. if any of you was in my car and we were driving past, I'd be driving past and I'd be giving a nod to that butcher's going, good lads in there. And
Yeah.
that feel is what we're trying to leave behind us, that wake of positivity and output. And that, if you keep planting that everywhere you go, then people are gonna be geeing you up and championing you on.
With the cakes, you the Betty's, they're like a famous tea cake in your town, right?
Yeah, it's a posh. I mean, it's a posh cake. I mean, they're expensive, like for a cake, but
Yeah.
they're fucking nice. I mean, they're better than Mr. Kipling's.
But you'll fly to Ibiza. When you flew over, you had one for Cafe Del Mar, you had one for me, you had one for somebody else. And so when you meet somebody for the first time, you've got a little cake that you've brought all the way from the UK. And that seems like a small thing, but it's like why I pulled Nick up earlier on because he was doing the Christmas cards. It's a similar vibe. It's like I thought of you. I'm not trying to take here. I'm genuinely, hey, it shows that you're thinking differently.
Yeah, I think yeah, and because obviously I'm from Harrogate, and these cakes they're like it's like a regal, posh cake shop. It is a nice thing to do,
Yeah.
and they're nice cakes.
Yeah,
So
100%, 100%. The tea bags were even nicer the second year.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Tea bags,
Okay,
yeah.
so like why I wanted to skip over to that because that's the approach. I mean, this is the approach we use when we teach everything. It's the cheese approach. It's if you're a mouse, what do I need to give you to not even ever have to pitch you? I'll give you cheese because if I give you what you want, then I never need to pitch you. And it's that mindset of being helpful, making friends, that it's all one and the same. And so back to the brand, right? You've got some events, you're trying to broaden the reach. You're showing up with this mindset everywhere you go. So then, how quickly does it go from I got one or two gigs to like where did it get to?
Well, I mean, because the first one we agreed to do a monthly night, so there was 12 gigs, like it was a year, so we agreed to do let's do the next year and see how it goes, and then we just kept building on that and other venues and other connections, and as time passes, we've created a little bit of a wave, obviously on a small level because we're not huge, but it's funny. There's people around the world on this call now, and a good chunk of them I've seen on Instagram because we're all driven people, aren't we? So that other people, if other people do notice it, so yeah, I think that's probably how we kept going, and I'd probably just go back to that because we've been right with people, we've worked hard, like the doors are sort of half open for us,
Yep.
with certain things because it's much easier than even though we might not know them, the anybody that I mean, I won't drop any names, but there's a new venue that we're talking to in Ibiza, and one of the venues messaged the other venue checking us out, and I got the screenshot from them checking us out, saying, "Oh, don't so and so just sent me this." So and I jokingly messaged back saying, "Oh, would you tell him we're a bunch of knobs?" Because no, I told him you were sound, and then now we're in discussions, and that's it. That's how easy it works. Because if we'd have been knobs or not done gone that extra mile, you know, then maybe that new venue
You never would
would
have
have got
you never would have got
yeah.
the screenshot.
They'd have probably yeah, I wouldn't have got the screenshot, but that new venue might have gone back and says, yeah, sorry, we're not looking for a new promoter. You just don't know the outcome, do you? So you've got to give yourself the best fighting chance, I think. And really, being nice is fucking easy, isn't it? And free. Like it's not hard to not be a dick.
100%. 100%. It's a free tactic and it really works. Uh, so right, we've got those running. Was it around that time you set up the open deck?
So I mean, the open deck's been going, yeah, probably after we got a bit of momentum, the open deck started going, which
So
it
So let's just trick because when we planned this, we did a bit of pre-planning on this call, and the third thing that has really fed your momentum has been the community. You've been a really good community builder around you. A lot of people on this call, it feels like a solo journey as a DJ. There's just one artist. There's just you, and you're trying to get your thing, and other people are competition, and it can be hard, right? But you've done a great job of building community. So the open deck. Tell us about that, when that started and how that has helped.
Yeah, so the open deck, the idea was obviously get people to come down and play and just meet people. We kept it completely open format so you could play whatever, excuse me, music you wanted. Um, but with that, we implemented a bit of an ethos around it. So essentially some rules. I didn't want to call it rules because it felt a bit sort of schooly. So we just called it the ethos. And there was just different arms to that. One was like if anyone's doing an open deck or considering it, this definitely really helped with the community. we don't tell anybody the set times. So, and people ask, and then we say, well, we politely ask you if you could just get there from the start and try and stay as late as you can. And then we'll just call you out randomly. That
That's
way,
dangerous. Sorry, just
yeah.
say, as an Irishman, hearing that those words, stay as late as you can. You're like, that seems like a fucking challenge.
Yeah, but that, we've had people just come and go that just come and but they only come down because they want to get a gig out of it, and then you never see them again because they realize it's not going to be that quick. But like off the back of that, we just had one, the last one, the sort of Christmas party where we bought everybody pizzas. I could have filled it twice, and like a lot of the people that didn't even have a slot came down and just supported the others. So now we're getting that kind of community support for each other where, everyone's like high-fiving when they've come off, oh, great set, mate. I mean, some guy played, I don't even know what it was, like 165 BPM, like the music like wasn't for me at all. And afterwards I was like, oh, that was interesting. He's like, oh, it was just so great to let us play it. And he was just like, no, and no one judged me. And that was his first time down there, and he was absolutely buzzing about it. And that is a buzz to me as well to see that. So it's just having your arm around them people, making sure they've got the ethos, they fully understand it, and when they're going on the decks, make sure they get the first transition in okay, and just be very helpful. But off the back of our positive energy there, they're sharing every post, they're coming to the event, they're telling their mates about it. You know, they're essentially the fans for life. Then unless you do something dramatic to fall out, which we're just not gonna. Like we've just got a load of new followers now and a load of new friends, and it's a beautiful thing.
I mean, a promo army is a word we've used in some other trainings, but does it feel kind of like that you have a bit of a, some promoters will have like a team of reps that kind of promote the events. Does it feel kind of like that?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. Yeah, and it's like I've said to them now, I like some of them don't quite play the right style, so it's hard. But the ones that do, I've said, look, what we'll do is we'll try and get you on. Some of them are a bit heavier. We'll try and get you on, and I've said to them, some of them that are a bit heavier, I'm going to need you to do me a bit of a mix, but I'm going to try and get them on, like so that they've got some kind of progression with it, because they are giving a lot to us, and I just want to get them on. So, and that's we already had. I think we've had seven of the open deck DJs play for us now. And another thing, what I did is when we did the Ibiza weekender, I said to the open deck guys, I said, "Is any of you coming out?" And they didn't know this at the time, but I had spaces for them, and any of them that said yes, I then offered them to play. I didn't say to them, if you come to a beefer, you can play.
Right.
So it isn't just like give, give, give. Like it has to, they have to do put some effort in because it's not, you can't just be giving all the time. So on that front, but I think four open deck DJs played in the beefer with us this year. But that's it. I only asked them once they told me they were coming.
So, like, so we're doing the open decks, and I think when some people when they think of the open decks, it's like, well, what's in it for me? Um, but what we're seeing here is really you've built this community around you that really because the brand is new, but all of a sudden you have so like it's fans are hard won, but these people kind of turn into super fans, don't they? I mean, they're traveling to your Ibiza event, they're coming to the other events, they're sharing all the posts. It's hard to get that level of a fan.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely super fan. Yeah, I mean they're supposed so. I mean, yeah, yeah, they do. I mean they're sharing like every time I do a post, there's a meet like consistently same people are on there all the time with it. And it's difficult because a lot of them are like, how can I help, Daz? What can I do? What can I do? And sometimes I'm like, I said the only thing that really is just please, and I just showed them like on Instagram. I'm like, just save the post, share it to like it, comment like, and watch the reels as many times as you can. Like I'm just like try and trick the algorithm for me. That's all. Really, the social media is where we need the help more than anything.
Okay, so let's hop back, right? We started the open decks, we did the monthly residency, then we added in the open decks. Uh, like when I spoke to you last year, it felt like last New Year's Eve, what was it, 4 or 5 different gigs you had on New Year's Eve?
Uh, we did the altar with K class, which was cool. We did 1858, and we did the West Park, and I think we had to say no to a gig. We did three. We got three this year as well. We did, yeah, we did three, I think, off from memory. I did the K class one, and I got the other boys to do the others.
And so, like, never mind your brand having one gig, having three on one night is amazing. So, you took all this, and then the concept. Would you say Ibiza was the next evolution when you said, "All right, well, let's take this. We've got a bit of a fan base locally that seem to be coming to everything that we do. Let's see if we can broaden our horizons." Would Ibiza be the next logical thing, or was there something else?
Yeah, I think without looking at this Instagram post, I think yeah, Bifa was the dream really. Bifa was I needed to tick that box, and now we just need to kind of solidify our place on the island.
Well, what I liked about this was, and I think will be useful to people, because we'd sat down and we chatted about this. For you, that was when you said it, you would love to do that someday. Uh, and
Mhm.
I remember we were like, well, why not just now, you know? And then like you're quite good with this stuff. You'll go from, oh, that could never happen to, all right, like making the phone calls and planning it within 5 minutes. But I mean, you pulled it off really, really quickly. Talk to everybody through that process from not running it and having no events on the island to having multiple and 100 people flying over, flights, hotel, tickets, the lot.
I mean, it sounds sort of obvious, really, but it was quite stepping stones, really. We got the one venue, said yes to us, and we kind of built it on that. Oh, and lent on some connections, and that anyone that knew anyone, and I mean we I mean it's mad now because next year there's like venues that we've been offered and we're not going to do. It's crazy, but a year ago I would never have thought that. But yeah, so we just built it based on that really, and then I got a sign up, got everyone to do a sign up. Obviously, we was a bit of a mail grab and who was in, and yeah, just programmed it around that, I suppose. I know it's mad now when you think about it because there was a hell of a lot of planning, but kind of forgotten about that now. But there was a lot of effort went into that planning, and we turned up and we did what we said we were going to do. And I think I said to you, Mikey, as well. Like people, there's a lot of bullshit in this game, and a lot of fibbers that like to. There's no harm in embellishing a story, maybe, or maybe making it look as rosy as it possibly can, but people do lie, and I feel like we definitely don't. Like I had a meeting with the next new venue, and we were talking numbers, and he started throwing some bigger numbers at me, and I said, "Look, I'll stop you there. I'm not going to give you them numbers. Like I'm not gonna." I says, "We did this year. I'm hoping we'll build on it." And they're just really straight talking. And the end of that conversation, he's wanting to help us with other venues and suggesting ideas to me because I do think there's a lot of bullshit and people lie and that just doesn't do you any favors. So then when you say you're going to do something and you do it well, you turn up, you change the bins or whatever and take them cake, you're walking away and they're like, yeah, they're cool then. Let's have them back.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen this play out with so many people in the program. Like you see people doing well, and they'll have this mindset. People just want to work with them because they feel comfortable around them. You know, because I don't think you're lying to me. I don't think you're blowing smoke up. I think you'll do what you say you'll do. And I would like to be friends. You know, like if you boiled it down to its basic level. Uh, okay, so we did the Ibiza. We got one venue. Then you launched a wait list, and because you'd done the work at home, you'd built up the community. You had the open decks. You'd been doing the residencies. You'd been doing what you said you would do. There was a crowd there that were into it, and so we got 100 plus to fly. Over how many days was it? 3 days?
3 days, 4 events in 3 days, yeah.
Okay. So let's give the honest. Yeah, we've all run events where on the outside it looks great, but on the inside you're like, I fucking hated that, and I couldn't wait for it to be over. Talk to me a little bit on the hard side of it because we can come on a call and go, yeah, I did a weekender and I beat there. 100 people flew. It was great, and that sounds great. But talk to us now about like close the door, private room. Like how enjoyable was that for you? Was it tough? Was it great? Was there hard bits? Was there good bits? What's
Uh,
the what's the real deal?
I mean, the real deal is it was absolutely fucking amazing. Like there was it was really really cool. I loved every bit of it, and like I'm not one of these people that sort of likes a pat on the back, but it was extremely rewarding, because there's times where you look and you think, yeah, I'm not really doing very well, or the I don't know, things. I'm always looking into the next thing. Like I can sometimes can't ever sit there and smell the roses because I'm always thinking about what about that flower bed over there? I need to plant in that. So, but there was times at Ibiza where I'm looking around and I'm like, fuck, we've done it. Like we did this. So there was definitely moments like that. There's a lot of learning curves. Fucking what do you call them? The sound, the things that control the sound. We had some teething problems with that. Some of the equipment was shit. Like there was some negatives. There was two, like we fucked up. We shouldn't have done a boat party on the same day as the plastic because everyone had a massive boat party and then flaked for the night do, so we didn't get as many for that. We also people turned up the day before and they were at a different party because obviously first day everyone goes mad at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a debrief like we do after everything, and there was points that we would definitely wouldn't do. We'd be strongly tried to suggest to people this time next year we all arrive on the same day and try to see if we can get everybody in and around the same hotel. Just because the community and that vibe, that was a buzz that, but people come from Liverpool and from London, and like they've been and gone and met up and had like weekends away, or like they didn't know each other till that weekend, and now they're friends from that. And that's again another beautiful thing. So but that's solidifying what we're creating, and everyone's badgering me for dates for next year. Like, come on, when do we want to book? And I'm going to bring more this next time. So yeah, I don't
Well,
know. I don't want to say there was not much negative, but there wasn't a great deal of negative. It was stressful. And I'd do things differently, definitely next time, but wasn't really. I mean, yeah, it wasn't. It was fucking fun, wasn't it? I mean, it's a beefer.
yeah, okay. That's beautiful. I love it. And the most important thing is, so like, let's not go into the 2025 thing, but this is the way, like, if you do that level of thing, you do the business, you show up and you don't blow the place up. You've got those contacts for next year and it opens other doors. And so now you're coming back to Ibiza and you have a whole host of things that you can do next year. And you're having conversations that you wouldn't have dreamed of 2 years ago, which I know you don't want to share on the call, but um, like that's invaluable, right? Imagine how that like if you do that, let's say we do 2025, we do 2026, we do 2027, and every year you do it like that. Imagine where you end up with it.
Oh wait, I mean, 100%. It's going to keep growing. I was in, we all. I think it's quite common to sometimes think I'm like almost faking it. How have I got to this point? But
Yeah.
like, I went to a wedding in Ibiza, and I think on that night, K Class were playing at Plastic. I'd booked Alex P. Uh, previously, so I'd met him, and he was playing at the Space, the on the front there. I know Ryan from Mambo's, and I know Ken Pham at Cafe Del Mar. And I was on my own because I was going to his wedding, and I'm like, I don't know where to fucking go for a drink. Like, how have I fucking infiltrated this fucking place? Like, it felt really weird to me. I was like, this is fucking mental. I was like, yeah, we're starting to get we're starting to get somewhere with this now because there's all these different people that
Yeah.
essentially 2 years ago I didn't know, and they're all like, household names or household venues,
Yeah.
like so. Yeah, that was a nice feeling. I just want to just people are asking about the money and stuff. Like, so I think one thing to be clear, like money's always like the bottom of the list for us. Like we've not thrown stupid amount of money in it. But and somebody asked me this the other day, like, oh well, I've been ripped off by these promoters and these venues and blah blah blah. I think the thing is like you would never put your house on the line, would you? You'd always it's slowly, it's step by step. So yeah, a beef cost us money. Like we didn't make any money, it cost us money. But fortunately, I've done 50 gigs there this year. Some of them gigs, you don't see on my social media because they're not so exciting, but the ones that are shit pay proper. So, anything that's shit, maybe it's a 50th or whatever, but I'm charging them properly and that money just goes back into the brand. But you won't see that on my social media because obviously I don't consider it as cool. So, but that's what pays.
Yeah, but it's all about investing in the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, if I'll do the shit stuff to pay for the good stuff, and that will continue. But now with 2025, that we are talking about areas of revenue. So I think I get why people are asking the question about the finances, but you just wouldn't risk too much. Just slowly, just be sensible with it. You're not going to get rich overnight, and it's a long game, and you've got to keep investing in yourself. and learning from your mistakes.
Yeah, but on the other side, how I've seen you do it, so you've invested in the good stuff, but then because you have quite a bit on, you're earning on, let's call it the other stuff. Like to be clear, the other stuff is it's like open format. You have other DJs doing open format or people in the wider crew. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily do them, you know. Some of the gigs, the weddings, you know, they are the wedding gigs, but you know, because you know, the people my age, they like house music, so you know, we're not playing Come On Eileen, you know, we're still doing, but it is still a wedding, but obviously, wedding DJs charge proper money, so you know, we don't put that on our social media, but people do approach us, or a 40th or a 50th or whatever. So because we've built this thing now, when people are coming to our events, they want that at their house. We've done you know, posh people's houses where we go around and they've got caterers and, you know, people walking around, champagne on arrival, fucking Ferraris in the drive. We've done some sort of posh parties as well, but we don't, you know, none of that goes on social media. But that will come because you've set the brand up and people come to your events. You know, people want that at their house, and you know, as long as and that's the thing with it. Like, I'll do any high level gig for fucking nothing, but if I'm going round to somebody's house giving up my Saturday, I'll charge them properly, and I don't feel bad about that because the effort we're putting in is we're worth that money.
Well,
That's
yeah,
why
it's
the
not fueling your career on either. You do the gig
yeah
for free because there's something in it for you. There's some
yeah.
leverage there, whereas the
Mm,
going around to somebody's house, there's not because it's hidden. But one is feeding the other, so you get to
yeah
invest in the good stuff, but you're using the money from the other stuff.
yeah, exactly that.
Okay. Well, we had one other question from Manuel. Would you say you're happy with what you earn from music currently, 2 years into the journey?
I mean, yeah, yeah, I suppose so, but I don't. I think the mindset is like I don't think I'd ever be happy. Like if I won the lottery, there's always a bigger boat in there. Like
Yeah.
I don't. Happy's the wrong word. Fulfilled, maybe. I don't know. I
Do you
wouldn't be
think you're in the
fulfilled.
right place 2 years financially where you should be?
Yeah, yeah, we're doing well, but there's like we've not even scratched the surface yet.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So, let's land this puppy. So just on the community stuff, you have the open deck stuff and then you've been connecting people a lot, but in general, like you have the FML residents that play in your town. I know you also had another group of DJs in another town set up an FML and you were looking at doing one in Ireland. And I know you partner with a lot of other people in the area, the radio station and that kind of stuff. Talk to us very quickly about that, the partner side of it.
Yeah, I think it's all kind of aligns to this community and giving back. So yeah, I think if any way you can help somebody else, then it's just the water's going to be warm when you're having conversations about doing things together. So yeah, I think just trying to get involved with others, and you know, I've maybe learned in a short space of time. I was maybe a little overzealous at the start, and to maybe try and stick with the people that are in the same sort of have the same output as you. But yeah, I think we've worked with other radio stations and other brands we're now working with. We're talking about doing some stuff in Ibiza with them. And you know, the idea is just it's just helping others again, and you know, the bigger the network, the bigger the opportunity. And if you know, there's people in the industry that are very, you know, it's a gatekeeper. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Well, I don't really see it like that. The more I can do for others, the more others will do for me. And that goes back to what I said when we first did FML and we did that first one, and everybody in that room half knew us. And they next minute the message is saying, "Oh, my mate's uncle, sister's auntie down south is a DJ. You should speak to them, or he's a nightclub owner, or he's a whatever." And you know, it's nothing always comes of it, but you've got people batting for you in your corner, you know, wanting you to do well, and you know, the amount of messages that continually come in from other people, just, oh, I've seen what you're doing. What about this? What about that? And it just breeds it. I
Yeah.
would say, and that I don't know. I think without that, it will be like I say, I'm pretty much no one's really booking me as such. I've had the odd gig booked just me, but really, it's just me booking me.
Yeah. Through and working with partners as
Yeah,
well.
partners. Yeah, I'm not really getting like someone random going, "Oh, I've seen you play here," but I have had a couple of them, but not really. Not like 90% of what I do is I've kind of driven through a either FML or some kind of partnership.
Manuel's asking, are you living in Ibiza? No, he's UK based, so he did the weekender in Ibiza, which is why it's impressive. Anybody can do it.
I fucking wish I was living in Ibiza.
Yeah, yeah. It's cold here today. It's raining here today, but it's beautiful every other day. The final thing is the cheese, which was mentioned a couple of times in the calls. Is this the cheese which was mentioned a couple of times in the calls? I'm not sure what you mean, Heiko. Is this the cheese? Like this is cheese. If that's what you're asking, Daz's mindset is completely cheese focused. Like the cheese mindset is it's based around uh, what, how can I work with people and make it so easy for them that I never have to pitch, you know? And it's having them wanting to work with you. And this is 100% it. Um, do you know what? Can everybody let me know into the chat, please? Out of what we've run through on Daz's call today, what's something that you can steal from this and implement in your own journey? What's a lesson that you could learn here, one, two, or three, that you could take and you could start? And hey, go yes, offering slots at your own events. That's cheese. Yeah, the mindset comes. It's a Dean Jackson thing. It's like if you had to sell a mouse. What's the easiest thing you could sell a mouse? Well, it would be cheese because there's no sales pitch needed. You would just put the cheese in front of them and walk out of the room and they would take it. With promoters, promoters want audience. They want promo. You don't even need to sell it. They'll just want it. And so everybody has it. You just got to find out what the people want. And if you know what they want and you're able to put yourself in a position where you can give it, well, then sales are going to go easier. You don't need to manipulate. You have what they want. And so they'll want to partner with you. Be an absolute mad animal and be honest. Gig mad animal. Okay. Be humble. Don't push your luck. Appreciate what people might offer and always be thankful for opportunities. That's it. Be more of me. I relate to everything Daz said. Yes, I think you do. Love the idea of bringing other DJs without giving them the exact slot. Yes. I would love to see more people doing the open decks. Start your own event series. Hey, go. 2025 is the year. We can swap open deck DJs if you have. Yeah, Ian's doing one as well. That could be a good idea.
100%.
Open decks. Lisa, that's a great idea for you. I think that really works. Um, okay, dude. So, what would you say if you had to boil it all down to one thing that you could bring forward to 2025? I mean, which one of these, if you could only take one forward with you, which is the key?
To continue, you mean? You're like
Yeah, I
one
mean, if
one
you
thing
could
out of
only,
all that.
yeah, which would you say if you could only bring one with you?
What do you mean? The brand, the approach, or the community? Like one of them things.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be the brand because without the brand, none of this would be happening.
yeah. Okay, I love it. I love it.
You knew I was going to say that, didn't
I didn't know what you were going to say. No, when anybody asks me that question, I just
you?
go, I'll just fuck you off and bring all three with me because you don't make the rules. Uh,
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, guys. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you very much, dude. I've enjoyed seeing you put in the effort and kind of help other people along the way do it as well. So I'm excited to see what next year brings for you. Um, for everybody else,
No, thank you. I enjoyed that. Just Baby Yoda, I don't produce. So you probably do need to be, but you don't necessarily need a ghost producer to have success.
no, you could get an engineer. You get in the studio with an engineer. You can just shout at them and tell them what to do or collaborate. I love it. Guys, next week we have got, what have we got? 2024 wrapped. Can you believe it? We're at the end of the fucking year. And what I want to do is, we looked at preloading your year, but I want to stop and I want to take inventory of how the year's gone and what lessons you can pull. Because if you go into next year without taking the lessons from this year, well, you're probably going to have a very similar year. And I know on surface level, you know some of them, but have we really thought it out? Have we really broken it down? Have we looked at the things we wanted, why we didn't get them, or why we did get them, and bring it forward and create and layer a little plan next year to level up? And so we're going to do that next year. We're going to celebrate your wins. We're going to celebrate your losses, um, and we're going to hang out in the breakouts and talk shit. Guys, can we unmute and just thank Daz for his time today, please?
Thanks,
Thank
Desmond.
you.
Thank you,
Cheers,
guys.
Des.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you,
Thank you
man.
so much,
Nice one,
Des. Love you, guys.
Great talk. Thank you.
I love it.
Nice one.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Much love, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a good week.
Adios. Take care.
See you later.
Good night, everyone.
Adios.
Oh,
Thanks.
oh, oh.
Thank
See ya.
you. Bye.
Have a great week.
And you
Ciao.
guys. See you later. See you guys. Adios.